Friends, we could sum up the theme of Lent and Easter, and indeed of the whole Christian life, in love. Thus today, let us look at love in the light of our Christian faith. After all, the second reading reminds us of Jesus' command to love one another as He has loved us. Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI wrote an encyclical about Christian love titled Deus Caritas Est, God is Love. It is timely to review some of its profound insights. Jesus summed up the Ten Commandments in the love of God and the love of neighbor. These two are inseparable. There remains a persistent question even for us believers. Can we love God whom we do not see? Sure, we can say that we have seen Him in Jesus through the Scriptures and the sacraments. But no one can claim that he or she has seen God physically. God is Spirit. The encyclical directs us to this significant passage from the first letter of John. If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother whom he has seen cannot love God whom he has not seen. Our capacity or refusal to love the neighbor that we can see, hear, and touch questions our claim that we love God who is Spirit. St. John tells us that love of neighbor purifies our love of God. Conversely, love of God urges us on to love our neighbor. God has loved us first and has equipped us to love others with His love in us. If I love God, I would do His works of love as Jesus showed them in the Gospels. Love always includes concrete acts for the good and salvation of our neighbors, especially the poor. We remember Jesus criticized by the elders and teachers in the temple because even the Sabbath rest could not prevent Him from attending to those in need. Of course, this love reached its peak on the cross, where He died for all. Jesus offered His life that we may be reconciled with the Father. Jesus was able to do this because of His communion with the Father. It is time to assess the quality of our relationship with God. Am I open to Him? Sometimes we lack compassion towards our neighbor because we no longer allow God to fill our hearts with His love. Sometimes we distance ourselves from Him. Pope Benedict XVI said that our communion with God disposes us to love others. Then we learn to look at the neighbor not with our own eyes, but from the perspective of Jesus Christ. His friend is my friend. Seeing with the eyes of Christ, I can give to others much more than their outward necessities. I can give them the look of love which they crave. So there, my dear friends, how is your relationship with God? Does it change my relationship with my neighbors? How does my love of neighbor deepen my love of God? Let us follow the example of the great saints. We remember Blessed Teresa of Calcutta. Her relationship with Jesus led her to see and love Him in her neighbors, the poor. More of this next week.